Alright, today we're going to talk about, this is Sled Dog Notes. This is going to be part 2, so this is a new heading in your notes, so make sure you get this down, Sled Dog Notes part 2. We're going to talk a little bit about kind of communication with dogs, how they communicate back and forth with you, some different team words that you would use, what kind of how you would hear a musher use words, and howling and why a dog howls. It's interesting the different things they mean. So I want you to read this section on communication, so in the reading. So I'll give them a little bit of time to read about communication. Okay, so dogs learn communication right away. Okay, they practice it. They play around with their litter mates, with their mother, and they just learn different skills. Obviously, just with any type of dog, sled dogs are either dominant or submissive. We're going to talk about the difference between them. So we're going to start first with dominant dogs, and every dog, right away you can tell if it's dominant or not. But they have in their kennels, they have a hierarchy in the kennel, and it kind of makes the group work. Every dog knows where he or she fits in this hierarchy. It's almost like a ladder. Who's on top, who comes next. Every time a new dog joins, they figure out where they belong. Dominant dogs, they insist that people show them respect when they're challenged. They kind of look at you differently, maybe a cross look. They show their teeth. They might growl at you. So here you would think maybe that a dog that is dominant might be a good lead dog. And the lead dogs, we'll get into more of them in a few days, but a lead dog is the front two, the ones in the front. Well, a dominant dog doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be a lead dog. Doesn't mean they're not. So some dogs can be lead dogs. Some of the best dogs are submissive dogs. Okay? Dominant dogs also are very intelligent. Okay? A dominant dog is very intelligent. All right? And another thing about a dominant dog, or even a lead dog, is that a lead dog, it enjoys this pressure of being chased by 14 other dogs. So that tells you a little bit about a dominant dog and possibly lead dogs. Taking a look at a submissive dog. Alright, submissive dogs, they show their status and the type of dog they are in a lot of different ways. Hanging their head, lowering their tails, rolling on its back, putting their ears back. Different ways trying to show that, trying to get you to approve of him. One big thing is submissive dogs aim to please. Right? They make the best friends. And they just need a little bit of encouragement. So submissive dogs aim to please. Also, submissive dogs, you can tell a submissive dog by a type of dog that is going to be constantly licking you or nuzzling. And this doesn't just happen to humans. They'll show submission by licking or nuzzling another dog. Okay, so they do the same both with dogs and humans. You can see a submissive dog doing that. Also, a submissive dog, sometimes you see the droopy ears and tail. That doesn't necessarily mean they're necessarily being submissive. It could also mean that they're ill, so that would be something that the mushers are going to want to keep an eye on. Is this dog submissive or is this dog ill? So that is another thing to keep an eye on. The next thing here we're going to talk about is some of the different team words that are used. So there's a section in the reading called Teamwork with Team Words. I want you to read that. This is a little bit of a longer section, so if you would just take your time, give them a little bit longer on this reading. Most people, when they think of sled dogs and mushing, they think of the musher yelling mush, whipping the dog. But that didn't happen with the word mush. They never shouted mush. The drivers did crack their whips. At times, they don't do that anymore, but they never yelled mush. They are called mushers. The drivers all are called mushers, but instead of yelling mush to get them to go, they yell word like, let's go. Some of them will just have a little whistle command, but most of them will yell hike for the let's go command, or okay, or just plain old go, or yep, and but they'd never yell mush. Once they're moving, the only real control that the musher or driver has is through voice commands, voice signals. So that's why it's important. That's why it's important to have a clear communication, to be able to communicate well, to have that bond between you and your dog, because the importance of voice commands is essential in controlling your team. Out on the trail, if you need to turn, there's commands for that. We've been talking about G. We've used that with Dixon. And it's the signal to tell the lead dog to go right, to turn right. On the opposite is to go left is haw, H-A-W. That means to turn left. All right. If going down the if you're going down the trail and you want them to slow down, they'll yell, easy. Okay. Going straight down the trail and there's another team out there, they're going to yell on by, and that's going to mean to pass another team on the trail. And then to stop the team, you're going to yell whoa. And as soon as they yell whoa, they're also going to hit their foot brake, which they have on their sled. They'll hit the foot brake. Once the team is stopped, they're going to throw the snow hook into the ground, into something sturdy, so that will hold the team while the driver musher needs to do what he needs to do, turn the dogs around, check in at a checkpoint, anything like that. So I have a short little video clip here I'm going to show you on some command words. So. Give it a second while it loads up here. This is from S&P Kennel, and they have two mushers, their husband and wife, Allie Zirkle, and she's gotten second the last couple of years of the Iditarod, and her husband, Alan Moore, and he has gotten first at the Yukon Quest, which is a long sled dog race as well. So here is them doing some commands.
These guys to go. That's a lot of, people don't quite understand that there's nothing except motivation making them go down the trail, They've got no leash on them making them go forward. So every single one of these dogs could, turn around and go the other way if they chose to. So I'm going to kind of go off the trail here. I guess Butterscotch knows. G! Now go G! Now I want you G! Hop! Alright, wait. Alright. Cha-cha! G! Say G for a minute. I know. Now go hop! There! Hop! There! I know. She gets frustrated at him. There you go. Come on now. All right. Looking good.
Okay, so you can tell by the video that they do respond on command pretty well. A lot of them will go the ways that they think they know already. Ahead of time, you saw some of them trying to do some turns because they know the route, but as soon as she says her command, they do follow. So why don't you take a second and read the section on howling. Dogs do howl for certain reasons, so that's a little small section. Take a look at that. Alright, for dog howling, dogs will howl for lots of different reasons. As you read, you could see how many different reasons they probably would howl for. One would be possibly just out of plain hunger, being hungry. Okay, like little babies. Babies cry. There's so many different meanings behind a cry. Same thing with a howl for dogs. They could howl because there's an intruder around and they're warning of an intruder. Some will have the kennels, and kennels might be 40-some dogs, 20-some dogs, 60-some dogs. It just depends. And sometimes the group, each kennel will start their day off with this just group howl, and it's something that's done every morning. Some will do it to just pass the time.